Okay, I guess we'll get started. So anyway, welcome to today. We are doing repurpose cards. So when I get cards from people, I enjoy them while it's Christmas and whenever I get them. But then after a while, I need to do something with them because you can't keep them all. And so I actually have a book, and it's like a scrapbooking book where I put all handmade cards go in there. So it's kind of like a coffee table book that I put out every Christmas, which is lovely because then I can look at all the handmade cards that people have sent me, which is kind of very special. But the unhandmade cards that I get are also kind of special because I kind of like the pictures and I kind of like the stuff that's going on them. So I always like grab them and I'm like, what can I do with these? Well, I'm sure I can repurpose them and make new cards. But of course, I'm an abstract artist, so I want to do something unusual and different with them. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And even though our focus is the Christmas cards, you could do this with any cards that you get, like happy birthday cards and things like that. Sometimes, actually, I probably have a bin somewhere full of those kind of cards for repurposing. I was trying to create a really fun project to do in a group setting with cards, but of course that didn't really happen. So I'll explain it to you. And if you ever want to do it, you certainly could. So, all right. So tonight we have I already have card stock ready to go in ready to make cards anyway. So I've pressed these all and done that ahead of time so that I don't have to worry about it right now. So the supplies that we're going to be using tonight are glue. And last week we had to talk about the types of glue, and I like this one and I don't like this one. Oh, they're backwards too because my camera's backwards. So anyway, but
they might not be on this screen.
Oh, are they not on the screen?
Right. You guys can read that okay, right?
Can you see the glue?
Yes.
Yeah. I found the Elmer's glue doesn't stick. And actually I talked because they sell it at Michael's, and I was talking to some of my coworkers and they were like, yeah, Elmer's sucks. So sorry, Elmer's. I like your name, but anyway, so we're going to play with those. So I have a pair of scissors here that I'm going to use. I also have a ruler. I also brought my small Fiskars cutter, which is this little guy. I think last week I showed you my big one. I have several of these because I think they're just the greatest little things. So I brought my little one out. Hi, Leslie.
Hi there.
I also brought out one of my cutting mats, and I just brought a little one out. I have lots of these. I really like them, but anyway, I brought a little one out to do that with, and a couple of knives that I'll show you. And some pencils, erasers. The other thing I didn't put in the supply list, but I use these sometimes, are these really cool stamps, right? Like you can use shapes and things like that. I use the circles quite a bit. And I did find, I have a little snowflake one too. So that's kind of nice. But anyway, so do we have the view of my hands?
We will in just moments.
Excellent.
Talk amongst yourselves.
That's why I have my technical guy here. So I was playing around with some of the cards that I had and just trying to come up with some designs or some things that I wanted to do with these cards. So here's my rule when I'm dealing with the cards.
Hang on.
Just a minute, we're having technical difficulties. Come on, Bill.
Sorry. Where did it go?
I don't know. Well, there I am. There's my hands.
There's your hands. Okay.
Okay.
So hang on. We still got to do this. There it is.
Okay.
There it is. I just had it in the wrong order.
Perfect. Okay. So one of the things that I think about when I'm repurposing these cards is I don't want to just take this picture.
You're reversed again.
I am reversed. So yeah, I am not left-handed. So everything I'm doing is reversed. So sorry if I have problems getting the picture to whatever, but anyway, so
it's not reversed.
Oh, it's not. How did that happen?
Just smile.
Okay, last week it looked like I was left-handed. This week I'm right-handed. Okay, so anyway, so one of the rules that I have about the cards is not to use it the way it is currently. So even though this is a nice little picture and you could take this whole thing and just glue it to a card and resend it to someone, to me, that's kind of like cheating. So what I want to do is cut it up and use parts of it. So I've done a little bit of that. You know, I had a couple of cards that I cut up and I haven't glued these down yet. So I cut some pieces off of them and I'm creating a new sort of thing with the bits and pieces from the cards. And I haven't glued it down, but we'll do that in a few minutes. So that's one of the ones I was working on and I thought it was quite nice. The other one I was working on is this one. And again, it's probably two different cards that I'm sort of putting pieces together from. And once I have them together, it's not like a whole scene, but it's kind of Christmassy. It's got the trees there. I have to put something. There was a really like a little bow on here and it was kind of bent. So I need to put something there. So I'll find something. And the last one I was working on, which I'm really struggling with, I'm not liking it at all, is I have this. And I put this little guy on here. And then I like this little character, but I don't know. I'm struggling with this one. I might just have to start over with it, but it is still Christmassy, right? It's got that little bit of sparkle. So one of the things that I wanted to do when I had, like when I was doing a project with kids, is I was going to say, okay, everybody starts off with 2 card pieces and you have to take one thing from each card piece and put it on your card and then pass it to the next person and then take you get 2 other card pieces and you have to take a little piece out of each one of those and add it to your piece. I just thought it would be a kind of fun little project. I actually did it with my sister one time. It was kind of fun. So anyway, I was looking at this one earlier and it says Happy Holidays on it. So I thought I would try and use that. So this is why I like these cutters, because I can just get a nice straight cut just going in and doing this. I'm just going to cut that little Happy Holidays off because then I can use it on another card and I don't have to print it. I can just use this little piece that says Happy Holidays. There.
So if you don't have the cutter, what could you do as alternative?
Well, you could use scissors or you could use a knife and a ruler. If you're really good at cutting, you could, just use your cutting board. I always use a metal ruler because then you're not cutting into your piece. You can just see, what can I find here? Like I could even look at this card. It's all silver. And it's got a little snowflake down here. But I mean, I could use this silver for days. And you can use the lines on your little mat cutter or your little mat to line up. Oh, sort of. I don't have lines on the other side on this one. And then just use your knife to sort of cut it. Don't have to cut it in the first pass, even if you can't. Oh my goodness. Oh my. And then when your ruler slides, there we go. Anyway, so you do something like that. I'm just going to put this with this because this would be kind of interesting. And then if I could find something else that goes with this, it is kind of maybe an abstract or an interesting way of displaying things, but it's just using those little pieces. Now, last week I had those little paint samples. There's no reason why I couldn't do something where I just add that paint sample to it. I'm just taking pieces and creating sort of a visual of this. Just look through and see what I can find. Part of me wants to just go through these and cut them all up so that I don't have to see the cards. Ooh, look at this one. There's so many things I can do with that. And there's bits and pieces from ones that I cut before. Like I'm not throwing these out because they're sparkly. So, I mean, I could put a little sparkly one. It's like an exclamation point. So I still need something else. Maybe something round. So with these circle cutters, I don't know if you have them or not, but one of the things you could do, or you should do when you're cutting with this circle, is put it on a mat or something. Don't just put it on your tabletop, because sometimes the blade will go down and actually mark your table. I'm speaking from experience on this. So I always try and have something underneath it when I do that, because I don't want those blades to come down and mark my table. My table up where I watch TV is full of all sorts of marks, because that's where sometimes I do crafts while I'm watching movies. So anyway, it's starting to create something, but then I could even go through one of these and see if I can find maybe a little picture that I want to use. Oh, this one's so small. And that's when I can get my scissors out and I can just try and cut. Well, I think I'm getting too many different things. I don't like this now. I'm gonna move that. And sometimes it's just moving things around until you see what you want to see. I don't know. And then maybe you just have to think about it for a while.
Who's playing the home game?
Is anybody else building while I'm building? Or are you guys just watching me?
Kelly is.
Kathy is. Just watching me fiddle around with things. I mean,
talking there.
Thing.
You can also do things like, you know, you could use wrapping paper. Or just anything you have, right, that has some sort of a Christmassy theme. I keep looking at these little animals that are on this one card, and they're so neat. And part of me wants to try and cut them out, but that's a lot of work to try and cut this little guy out. So I don't think I'm going to do it with you guys having to watch me. Look at this one. This is a birthday card. It's not even a Christmas card, but it's made it into my thing. But, you know, I could take those off and, I mean, it'd be kind of a cutesy sort of Christmas card or whatever, but there's bits on there that I could use. I like this one too. So here's another one where I'm going to use my cutter. I'm just going to cut off this part. This one says, there's no nicer time than Christmas to remember special people like you. Merry Christmas. So, I mean, things like that, you can still put in your cards. You're just, you know, or you can put different parts of them in your cards. I'm cutting on the opposite side because I think that first line that I cut wasn't straight. So I want to make sure that I have a nice straight line for this. So on the Fisker's cutter, there's an edge, so I can push my card up against that edge so that I know that it's pretty straight. Oh, and I cut really close to the top of their heads. That's all right. I'll just cut really close to the bottom of their legs now. I think I'm going to let that overlap. I think I still have sparkles on my table from last week. And I thought I cleaned it pretty good, but I'm still seeing sparkles. Maybe they're just coming off the cards. I don't know. So I'm using pieces of other cards to create this card. Do a little weaving. What do you think? Does it look like anything worthwhile? I think I need another blue. So I like these little snowmen. I don't want to destroy them, so I'm just going to be very careful not to ruin them. But I want some of this blue. I can use them for another card. Hi, Missy. Are you coming to visit? I have a cat visitor. Anyway. Okay, so now I have a different blue here. Brenda likes blue, so maybe I'll send this card to Brenda. Hi, are you coming to help me?
Yes. Sure, I'll take that card.
There, okay, move along.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Go, go. Always interested in what I'm doing.
Good help is hard to find.
That's right. So anyway, actually, I don't mind this as it's a pretty simple card, but you know, it's Christmassy. It's got a couple of characters on it. Oops. Oh, wrong way. This way. So now I'm just going to glue. Okay, so I sort of know where my pieces are going to go. What I'm going to start with is this little skinny guy down here. Now, you might have seen that I had my edges sticking over just because I didn't want to cut them off first. But sometimes I cut them off after I've made the card. But in this case, I know exactly where they're going to go. So I can just make them fit on the card. And open up my glue. And so I just put my thumb on the top of this strip. And then I pull. And that gets a nice bunch of glue on the back of this. And then I can set it down there and just press it. Now, if you have a piece of scrap paper, which I do, you can use that to sort of push it down instead of trying to rub your fingers across, because if you have glue on your fingers and stuff like that, then it sometimes will show up. But then, you know, I've got a nice sort of push there to keep it down. And I think this one was going to go next because it's going to go over. Yeah. Just going to cut this corner off because it's kind of mangled. So this corner because it's kind of mangled. I'm going to do the same thing with my glue. Put it down and then pull it with my thumb on top. And that just works really well. So now I can see I've got a little bit of glue here that just leaked out the side, but I can use the edge of this card to sort of lift that off. And I might have got some glue on the card. Oh, well, that's, you know, nothing, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because it's handmade. I think, isn't that the rule? If it's not perfect, then it's certainly handmade. So,
But why not strive for perfection?
oh, yeah, I know you would. Yes. Yes, you can strive for it. I don't generally, but Leslie does.
Turns out I got rid of too many cards last year, so I'm
Are you scrounging for them?
yeah, I'm digging. Shit.
Well, I was thinking, today as I was, because I'm thinking about, I'm trying to keep in mind what other projects we're going to be doing. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have to start telling them like some weird stuff that they have to start collecting so that we can do these art projects. Because there are some weird things that I like you guys to collect. So sometimes if I have a little corner that's sticking up here, and I can just take a little piece of my garbage paper and just put a bit of glue on it and just lift that corner up and sort of put that glue underneath there so that the corner is down also. So I'll talk about that later, I guess, when we're talking about next week's project and what might be coming up in the weeks after. And
Wow, that didn't work.
what happened?
Oh, I'm just looking at some old paper samples where they had some embossing. These are from a paper company, so they had a specific design that ran on as a letterhead on multiple colors.
Yep.
But I'm just noticing that the embossing of the foil did not work.
Oh,
Kind of interesting to know that the paper didn't hold it.
no.
Here you go. What do you think?
Oh, lift it up. Oh, look at that's nice. That's great.
It's
Yeah,
only got 4 pieces on it though, but
that's okay. They say less is more.
as
Don't
I
have
get
to
my,
be super complex.
that's good.
A little bit of glue that.
There's one I finished. It's just 2 pieces, but I didn't think any more worked on it.
Oh, I can't see you.
Oh,
Is your camera off?
my camera is on. I can see me.
Oh, maybe I have to scroll to see you. Oh, let me see. Oh, lovely. So you put all those together just now?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's just 2 pieces, but I just really liked how it looked together. So
Yeah.
I'll do a more complicated one next.
And that's just, using the bits and making something new out of it, right?
Yeah.
So there, I have one done, but I have a thing I don't like what's happened on the top of this. So I'm going to do it all the way around. So I had a little bit of glue that got stuck to the front of this little piece of paper, but I thought maybe I might be able to get some of it off by using an eraser, but the eraser is actually taking some of the ink off of the card. But it's actually kind of interesting because it's adding kind of like this little smudgy edge, which I kind of like. So I'm just, if it doesn't work, or I can just do more. Like if you I don't know if it's going to focus on that. Anyway, you can see I just put that little penguin guy or whatever. It's upside down. That little penguin guy on this piece of blue, but you can see it's kind of smudging and like the blue is coming off in this little frame around it. But I kind of like it because it looks distressed and
Oh, yeah.
so
It's awesome.
So there's one. All right, I'm going to go to the other ones that I was working on before because I'm still not sure about those other ones. But this one I was very happy with. And this card was just beautiful because it had this gorgeous star on it. And so I cut that star out and a little bit of the blue around it. So this is two different cards that I've put together, that I'm putting together on this with different pieces. I'm going to go off the card a little bit there.
$7.26.
All right. Checking with my timekeeper, making sure I'm on track. And I guess I'm not sure exactly where I had these before, but just sort of inventing as I go. Okay, now the other way I like to do this is just to put it on the table and just glue all the edges too. Not so worried if I go over a little bit, because I'm just going to move my mat over. If there's any glue on my table, that will just cover it. Not sure which way this should go. I guess this way. So yeah, people will be getting very different Christmas cards from me this year, because I don't usually do these, but I usually try and do painted cards or whatever, but I'm a little bit behind the line of that. So, and then the other thing I had were these little tiny pieces. I wanted to take, even though I had this big star in the middle, I wanted to take some of the blue and put it somewhere else on the piece, just because I didn't want to have that the only piece of blue. So that's where I can do like just a little. And of course, I'm going to do 3, because that's the number. That's the magic number for me. There. Simple.
I like the way that you've made those, the horizontal pieces not parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it more interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, sometimes when you're cutting, and it's so hard to make them perfect. So sometimes making them imperfect. That's just right up my alley, right, Leslie? So, anyway, I'm just going to cut this little edge that was sticking out. So now it's on that card. All right, here's the other one I started working on. I got to figure out something to put on those trees though, because I don't like that spot. But I'll start with
Glitter glue.
Glitter glue. You know, I was thinking, I wonder where my sequins are, because you could put a sequin or a bead there, right? Like I could put anything there, but I didn't grab those kind of things. But I mean, I certainly could.
If you have a paper punch, you could just punch out some little circles, like I did on my card number 2.
Oh, nice. Look at that. It's great. It's just like every card it's like it's getting a second life as a new card. So I like that. Repurpose, reuse,
Yes,
recycle.
I love that too.
And so now whenever you get Christmas cards, you'll be looking at them very closely going, oh, I could make another card out of this.
I always save them and repurpose them for tags. So, I mean, this activity tonight is perfect because I've got all the stuff already cut out, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Gift tags. You could do that. I made gift tags years ago and we reuse them every year because they're little art tags and we attach them to the wrapping with, well, I use like paper clips and safety pins to attach them. And so I have a little box of them. So every year it's like, oh, there's my tag for Bill. But I also don't very often use wrapping paper either. I use fabric to wrap my presents. So I've made like bags and things like that. And that's what my wrapping is. You know what? I feel like I need a little gold circle. That would be perfect, right? Hey, Bill, can you look at
I
this?
love that punch of yours. I think that would be the most fantastic thing to have. The
These
circle
ones.
punch. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really handy.
Are they a Michael's thing?
Yep. Is there another one in there? I'm looking through my stuff for a regular hole punch. Really, I don't have a regular hole punch.
Well, maybe
I
inside.
probably do somewhere. I just don't know where. Okay. Yeah, he handed me this one. This one, the hole punch is. Oh, I'll try that. This one is probably one that I got at Michael's, but I don't know if you can see this little tiny hole. It's tiny. Can I punch? Oh, look, he found me all sorts of things. Okay, I'll show you this. This is the funniest thing. I actually did an art piece where I put some of these on it. There's the tiny little, there's the tiny little hole it made. It's teeny
Wow.
tiny. But it's really cool because then I can pull this thing down and then the hole is in here, or the piece I punched out. So now I have that. And I could glue it somewhere. I would need tweezers to do that.
It's adorable. You could attach a little bit of string or ribbon or something through it too.
Well, yeah, I've used it for that kind of thing to when I'm attaching things, and yeah, using string instead of. Okay, I do have a regular hole punch here, so I'm just gonna hole punch the corner of my gold because I can still use the rest of that. Oh my goodness. Okay, I guess I haven't cleaned this one out for a while. Now I gotta find the gold one. That must be it. Is there a hole there? There must have been. I might have to do that again. Okay, now I got a whole bunch of white dots, which would be really cool little snowballs. Okay, do that again. Okay. I went too close to the edge and I had a bit of edge on my thing, on my circle. You know, that's not going to be big enough. I think what I need to do is I need to cut the rest. There's a little bit of fabric still on this. So I got this other knife and it's a really cool blade. Really, really thin. But if you touch this even a little bit, it snaps back. My mom was having the worst time trying to use it. But I think I figured out how to do it. There. I also have this hole punch. This is one that you can use for leather and stuff, I think. I don't know if it's going to give me a bigger punch hole. Hey, Bill,
Yes, dear.
can you go over and get that little bin for me that's on top of my ped?
With the orange lid.
No, no. Yeah, those two little black bins, those are really handy. Then maybe I'll find the right thing I need. Like a perfect sequin would be perfect just to put on there. And that would be like the finishing touch. Okay, so Bill's bringing me my
Bit of wonderful stuff.
my trays of wonderful weird things. And then I can look through those and see if there's anything interesting. So this, I'm going to move this into so you can see my weird boxes of stuff. Like I have all sorts of weird stuff in here. Oh, I was looking for this.
For next week.
That was for another project. But I mean, look, even this, like this must be part of an old decoration. But how cool would that be on a card?
I have those decorations.
Well, there you go.
It had
I think-
something in the middle, right?
I think so, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is just the little edge of it. I'm going to keep that out. That makes a good decoration. And this is really cool. Do you know what that is?
No idea.
Yeah, it's part of a can opener.
Oh,
Take everything apart. Not in there. I do have these. It would be finding the right one. So having a little container of little bits isn't a bad idea. But I don't think this one's going to go. It just looks weird, right?
you know what you should do is cut out some presents. Put some presents under the tree.
Well, that's a good
Well,
idea.
I shouldn't say should. I say
I could.
could. You could do.
Wonder if I have a card that has presents on it. I have one, but I don't want that one.
I do.
Well, pass it to me, okay? Dang it.
Pretty cute, huh?
Uh,
Bunch of little
I love
ones.
it. I love it when you actually have an ugly card, or in your opinion, it's not a very attractive card.
yeah,
But when you cut something out of it, it's a whole new ball of wax, of
Yeah,
game,
exactly.
of something.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's cool, right? I don't have any presents.
Oh, darn.
You know what I do have? Oh my goodness. I have a little present.
Or a particular pet peeve is when they just do ugly ass type. And you just think, can you not think of anything more interesting to do with it than that? Like, that's the
Not that bad. It's kind of a script, isn't it?
yeah, but the letting's all wrong, and it's just
It's just not perfect, right? Or just not,
well, that
it could be better.
perfect, but in this case, it could be better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make it better.
Exactly.
Ah,
So I found a little star that I'm working on cutting out. And maybe that will be just the thing that is okay at the bottom. It's okay to have a star at the bottom of your tree.
Why not? The cat might have got in there and pulled it down.
Exactly.
They're everywhere if you look around.
The cats.
Yes.
Mhm. I was going to start decorating my house today and I didn't quite get to it today. Maybe tomorrow.
I'm done.
You're done?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, pretty much. I found another something I want to add, but I thought I had the right batteries and I don't. So it's not up yet.
Get rid of that.
Okay.
I don't know about that star. I think I'm trying too hard.
Let me see your star.
I think it's all
Oh.
right. I don't mind it on there.
You don't mind it? It just feels like it's the only thing,
What?
right? So
Could you find another color?
Is it? It's attached to that tree.
it isn't. I just set it on there because I have 2 holes. So I'm just trying to find something that works that covers up that hole. But maybe, you know what,
Oh.
maybe I just need to do another square.
Yeah, another square, and maybe put your star over, coming out from behind something, or on top, overlapping one of your other squares or something.
No, I don't think I need the star at all.
Not there. Or you take another star that's not that star from that strip. You have a star in a circle
Yeah.
that's white. And then there's 3 stars on the side there. You got a pretty good stash of cards, I must say.
Me? Well, I think
Yeah.
I have
Hoarding them
more.
for years.
I think I have more. I just don't know where they all are. So I think I was thinking about it today, thinking I thought I had more. I don't like that either. Okay, let me try this.
Geez, I seem to be in sort of like a linear state of mind.
Because you're doing lines.
Well, yeah, I've sort of superimposed some. It's kind of hard to see, but I have a light piece of paper on the back of this that has snow sparkles.
Can you show me, Bill? I can't see where
You
she
see
is.
that?
I'm just getting my tech guy to drive here.
Whoopsie. Just put my,
Oh. Yeah, you got like a nice bold line on the bottom
yeah.
there.
Well, there's a light piece of paper over the back of it.
Yeah.
And it's got like a light snowflake and white bits of a pine tree.
Okay.
But there's probably something that should go in the corner. But I don't know. No, maybe not.
Got anything irregular to break up some of your straight line then?
Yeah, that's what I was sort of thinking of, but I don't. I mean, there's this, but it's not quite right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You'll
And
find
these-
something.
These are too washed out. My presents.
What? Oh, they're so cute.
They are. There's a present here with a little bird above it. I got to figure out where to put that. You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, very cute.
What I'm finding is several cards in here that were made for me. Would it be too shocking to put a jolt of red on there?
You could make that red your focal point,
True.
right? So
Yeah.
if that's sort of, thinking about sort of the composition, putting that red there would be certainly draw the eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't mind that. So I just made a whole bunch of rectangles to put, I made presents, sort
Oh,
of,
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
right? It's like, it just sort of, it covers that up and then it just adds more. You just keep adding until you have enough. So that's what I'm doing tonight. What's my time like, Bill?
7:46.
Okay. So I will talk a little bit about what we're going to do next week. Leslie, you've done this one. We're going to do snowflakes next week. I did allude to it, yes, last time. But so what we're going to do is we're going to cut for our 6-sided snowflakes. They're really fun to do. And what I did with them in my class was we attached them to a board and created like a little art piece with them. So I'm going to show you real quick what we did, my examples that I have.
And we put a spare in a notebook.
Yes, yes. And as always, you know, not always, but quite often what I like to do is I like to put them also in a sketchbook. So these ones, these are just done on a piece of board that I have. And we learned how to fold and cut out the snowflakes. So that alone is just kind of a fun thing to do. I did this one today. And it's, let me just move this so you can see it better.
Do you need any special type of paper for cutting?
Yes, I'm going to tell you about the paper. So this piece of paper is actually origami paper. So if you look at the other side, it's a pretty little pattern, which can be really beautiful too, right? So the kind of paper that I'm suggesting you use is you can get origami paper. You can also get, so I have, these are all just origami papers that I had, okay? Even sparkly, I haven't tried that yet though. So origami paper comes in 6 inch by 6 inch, and I'm gonna have all the supplies on the website tomorrow so that you can get supplies early. Thank you for that, note, Brenda. I made note of that I should have the supply list for you guys early. So origami paper works really well. The other kind of paper that you could get if you have it or if you want it, it's called deli paper. Oh, sorry. And it's kind of like this. It's a little bit, and I think they call it deli paper because that's what they would wrap your meat in a deli. But a lot of artists use this deli paper. It's fine. This is white origami paper or deli paper. Or you can just use copier paper, but you're going to need like a 6 by 6 inch square of it. Okay. So I have quite a few snowflakes that I've done. 4-sided, 6-sided. Some work out better than others, but it's taken me a while to figure out how to fold it properly to get this kind of thing. Because you're used to seeing this kind of thing when kids do it, right? Because they only like fold it 4 times. So this is taking it up a notch and doing that. So, and if you kind of mess up with your folding, then you get something like this, which isn't really 6-sided. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. It is, but it's off. It's off, but it's kind of beautiful too, even though it's not perfect. But like, holy moly.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, lots of different patterns and stuff like that. So what I'm going to have for you guys next week is you'll have I have a sheet of patterns that you can try. The boards that you can use are, so this is just a piece of wooden board. It's pretty thick. You can get it thinner. It's just MDF or whatever. But the other thing that you can use are these kind of things. These are just like little canvas boards. They're not square, but I don't think you can get them square, but these are 6 by 8 and they'll be just fine. You know, this is a artist's loft from Michael's, but you know, you can put your piece on there and we'll do some painting on it and things like that. If you're not going to work on one of these boards and you want to work on the wooden boards, then you'll need to get some gesso. And this is the Liquitex gesso. This is the Liquitex gesso that I use. Sorry, I'm thinking you guys are upside down to me, but if you are, now again, you can go online and buy this stuff off of Amazon, okay? And there's a link on my site where you can go into Amazon. And if you do that, if you buy stuff off of Amazon through my link, I do get a little kickback from Amazon. It's very small, but it'll help me buy more supplies and stuff like that. If you want to go to Michael's and get the gesso, do not buy the Artist Loft gesso. You'll have to pay a little bit more, but get the Liquitex. The Artist Loft is horrible, and I would never suggest it to anybody ever again. I bought a bucket of it, and it was like I couldn't wait for it to be gone. But this is what you want to get, okay? The other thing you can do to when we're going to be attaching, so we're going to be doing some painting. So if you have some acrylic paints, bring those in. You want a nice size brush that you can paint with. Just fix mine. So this is, not a bad little brush for doing that. You don't want a really thin brush. You want something that's going to give you some nice coverage. And you'll need gloss gel. So this is the Liquitex gloss gel. If you don't want to use gloss gel, the next thing that you can use is Mod Podge. It's great stuff too. So if you don't have the gloss gel, this is sort of like artist quality. This is what I use when I'm doing my artwork. But if you're just doing it for a craft, Mod Podge is just great. I love that stuff too. So those are kind of the things that we're going to be working on next week. The whole supply list is going to be on the website tomorrow, so you can find what you need for next week, and we'll do some cutting, and I'll show you how to cut that 6-sided snowflake. It works really super easy. So, okay. And that's what we're going to do next week. One of the other things I wanted to talk about real quickly tonight, I'm going to move this guy back over here and work on him, is moving forward, we're going to be doing other crafts and things like that. And I'll start to give you hints of some of the things that we might need to scrounge and save. And one of the things I want you to start saving are your toilet paper rolls. Okay. Because we're going to do some fun stuff with those. Okay. So toilet paper rolls. That was the one I was thinking of right now anyway, was that kind of thing.
Not paper towel rolls.
You could do paper towel rolls. I think they're thin. Are they thinner? I don't know.
Okay.
So you could grab both, because I might have a few crafts to do with both of them.
Okay.
So we'll play with those a little bit, but yeah, the toilet paper rolls will be fun. And what else do we need? I think that's the only thing I need you to scrounge for now. I'll let you know as we're going if there's other weird things that you can start collecting. One of the other projects I wanted to do with you guys is a watercolor project. But I want to send you guys some pieces of stuff that we're going to do it on. So if you could send me your mailing address, I will mail it out to you. Even if you're in Mexico and it takes a month to get there, I will send it now so that when you have it, then we can do that craft. Okay. If that helps you, I know you said it would
Unless you
take.
want to come back for the snow.
Yeah, the snow. So yeah, if you're like, I would love you to take part in that sort of thing, but I want to send you this special stuff to do it. And the only thing I say is if I'm mailing you something, you got to save me the stamp.
Okay.
Because I'm a stamp collector and I collect stamps, and Christmas is the time that I actually work on my stamp collection. So I'll be setting up my table shortly and being a nerd and collecting my stamps. It's one of those things. So, yes. And some of you may know that already. Sometimes I'll send a self-addressed envelope in my cards and just say, hey, send my stamp back in this envelope with another stamp. Nobody sends nice stamps anymore. Okay. How many cards have you guys got done?
I've got 2. Here's my second one. This is what I
3.
did in that corner.
Oh, I like that
nice.
corner. Yeah, that's a good idea.
They weren't easy.
No.
No.
Here's my third one.
Oh,
I like
nice.
those triangles. Yeah, that worked out good. What about you, Leslie? How are you doing?
I'm still working on number one.
Because she's a perfectionist.
No, I didn't have a good stash, so I had to find.
Sure. Sure.
You know, another thing that I was thinking of,
On, putting on some glue. Just keep your pants on.
is, you know, I like went through my gift bags and I had so many gift bags. I sent a bunch to Value Village, but I mean, they have all kinds of stuff you can cut out on them.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly.
I also
That's true.
recycled all those too. Like I
Yeah.
do the same thing.
If
Yeah.
only you would have known about this a couple weeks in advance.
Oh, shush. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Last winter when I purged them, or I could have gone to Value Village and bought back what I dropped off.
Boy, you know how many times I wish I could do that?
I'll bet.
Because the moment you get rid of something that you didn't need is when all of a sudden you need it. Every time.
Yeah.
I think something just happened. Like I just got rid of, I had this box and it had a little sort of window in the top.
Mm.
And I've had that box for years thinking, oh, it'd just be really good for something. And I found that I have not found anything to do it. So I got rid of it.
Big mistake.
Yeah. Yesterday I needed it. And I was like, I wish I had that box. It would have been perfect for this, but I purged it. So lucky me. Okay.
Okay, here's my imperfect swirl. I'm going to figure out what to do something with.
Oh yeah. Oh, nice. You did a good job. You cut that out?
Yeah, with scissors. How's that for obnoxious?
That's pretty good.
Don't look
Can I
at
see
it.
that?
Wow.
It's got a little bit of red in the corner, but it's from a card.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a it was a reindeer ear or antler. Not anymore.
That's great. Like, look at that. That's awesome. I kind of want to finish one. I'm one. I want to finish my last one before we go. But maybe I shouldn't. Anyway. So what do you think? Is an hour okay, or do we need to go longer?
Depends on what it is. I think when we're doing the snowflakes, it'll be longer.
It might be longer, yeah, because there's probably drying time and stuff that you guys won't be able to do,
Absolutely.
right? That I'll be able to have it ready to show you a dried one and stuff. So yeah, you're
That
right.
might
about
have to
that.
happen over a couple of weeks in steps.
Well, and it could be, and there's probably going to be projects that we do that with if we do paper mache or something like that.
Okay.
So is this working? Is the camera format, is the explanation and everything working? Are there things you might like us to change to make it better or easier to follow? Should
Well,
Karen
I
talk
like the
some?
way the camera is right above you like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do too.
Great.
We're getting it as close to above me as possible. It is still sort of off to the side, but yeah. Then I know that you guys are seeing sort of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's
And we
really
s-
good.
We switched it also because I realized that last week, because we were coloring and because I'm right-handed, my hand was covering
Ah,
as I was coloring, right? So as I watched the video afterwards, I was like, yeah, this isn't good because you can't see what I'm coloring because my hand's in the way. So we moved the camera this time. But I think
Whenever often with Zooms, if the person's talking, then it shows them in the screen, and that would help when people are showing their pieces. Because otherwise, and I have now maybe it's just my settings on my screen. Maybe I need to change something so
We've
that
got
I can
Karen-
see.
We've got Karen's picture pinned on there. So her desktop is the main focus.
right.
Okay.
So that's when we take this off, when we switch back and unpin her, then whoever's talking will appear. But the challenge is when
Oh,
she's
okay.
doing this, if somebody's talking, it'll suddenly come off of her and then you won't see what she's doing.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, sometimes it's all about me.
Well,
That looks nice.
So I'm working on it. Yeah, trying to, my light. Oh my God. So I'm working on this
Yeah.
Okay.
and I'm trying to figure out my strips with the words are just tacked on.
Yeah.
The two main chunks are glued on, but the rest are not. So that's sort of
Okay.
what I'm working on. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to let those strips with the text run all the way across or not.
Partial.
So yeah, I am. I'm doing something. I am.
You are doing something.
Slowly. Meticulously.
This
I
one.
had to get a new blade out for my cutter
Oh,
because it was not having very good success.
turning it back into a cutter from a terror.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing like a nice sharp blade to get you going, right?
Oh,
You
to
need
get
it.
you all wound up.
It's hard. I kind of like some of these cute little things on these cards, but I don't generally do cutesy things, but
I think Woodstock would look pretty cool right in the middle.
I was actually going to just cut his hat off.
I kind of like the star over Snoopy's nose.
Yeah, I like that too. But I also like the sparkles around it. So I might have to figure out what to do with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was thinking maybe just the hat. A little. I think I might
Poor
just,
Woodstock
poor Woodstock. I forgot that was his name.
gets no respect.
No respect from me. Sorry. Sorry, buddy. Okay, I'm going to try and use a blade on this one.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Woodstock. I'm taking.
Oh, here we go. This is easier. You know, when they have them doubled so that they're really thick,
Yeah.
they're very difficult to cut. You could just get the two pieces that are glued together and glued. We're all set.
Yeah.
There. Mhm. Mhm.
Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm concentrating.
Not alone.
So also, if there's anything you guys want me to cover, you're welcome to send me a quick note or if you have any ideas of what we can do, that would be great. Because I'm going back through a lot of the things that I did with kids and stuff like that and
big kids.
big kids.
For shipping stuff, I can always come down and grab some things for myself and for Kelly, and then
Yeah.
I can get them to her
Yeah.
because I'm kind of in the middle, and then you don't have to ship.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably just be mailing anyway, you know, me and stamps. Okay, I stole his hat.
You
I
got
hope
it.
it looks nice on this card.
You took his hat?
I took his hat.
You tooked his hat.
I took his hat. I took his hat. I don't know.
I think you needed the whole thing. Now you got to put him in there too.
Don't tell me I have to put him in there.
You just bring it all together, the yellows. And
Well, it's a different yellow.
I know one's plant-based.
What?
Leslie told us last week that that's the name of the plant, that yellow.
I don't know. I don't know what oh, that was that other yellow.
Chamomile.
Oh, yeah. Can't believe I'm cutting him out now. Made me feel bad that I stole his hat.
What a mess.
What?
Oh, I just got little bits of stuff everywhere.
We're just waiting until we're cutting it.
Wait
Our
till clear week.
snowflakes.
Snowflakes.
Okay, now.
Okay. Fine. I cut out Woodstock. So the other thing you can do, I don't know if it matters, but sometimes when I'm putting things like this together, and I find that like this little Woodstock guy has a black outline around him,
Mhm.
where I've cut them on the edges, it's not showing black. So I can take my Sharpie and color that. And sometimes it just sort of finishes up the side of whatever you've cut. Then you
Right.
don't have that white line. And again, if you're using a Sharpie like this, hold it with the image away from the Sharpie so that the Sharpie slips, it doesn't draw on your image. So I'm just sort of going around his edges with dark. Which means I'll probably have to go around the hat too. Happy holidays with my little Woodstock on there. All right, let's see how he looks. Maybe he's okay.
I think he's good on there.
You
Just feel
do?
like-
Yeah, I do. But try standing him on the pole because he looks like he's just floating
Oh,
on the white pole in front of the blue background.
he's not going to be able to do that because his hat's going to stick out.
Ah, okay.
Well, is that okay? If his hat sticks out,
I think
it
it's
won't fit in
okay.
it won't fit in the envelope. Oh, maybe do I have to make him a platform?
We may need to make them a platform.
I like his hat sticking out quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
You could make little hopping lines, you know? He doesn't have to be standing. He can be in
Jumping.
in Woodstock flight.
And he'd be like flapping his wings. You know, I have a little piece of sparkly.
Maybe because the word happy holidays in the one direction, you should be lined up that way too.
Oh, you think the card goes this way?
Oh,
And then he could sit on that other perch that you have over there.
Oh, you're clever.
What a guy.
I know.
Oh my gosh, that just brings it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a card on the move.
All right. Well, there you go. See, I've been doing all my cards the one way. I never realized that I had to turn it and do it the other way. Okay. Oops. Too much glue.
See, I'm not just a nondescript voice floating in the background.
No, you're actually helping me out here.
The idea man.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, he's sitting there and he's not making any cards. He's just sitting there.
Of
so,
course.
Yeah.
I have no space left on your table.
That's true. I've taken up all the space.
There, number 4.
You are rocking it.
Look at you go. You're just like speedy.
I know, but I don't think about them that much. I just like, okay, yeah, I think I like this here, or I like that there, and I just stick them
Yeah.
on.
That's good. That's all right too. Okay. Well, there. So I've done 4. Complete with Woodstock.
Yay.
So, yeah.
All right on.
Yeah, that works. I've got a weird penguin on one and a Woodstock on the other, and
With a hat.
with the hat. With the hat.
Right, I'm going to kick you back to your main camera.
Okay, guys.
Behind you.
So we're just about done here. And so I hope you will, as you get Christmas cards this year, you can repurpose them. Except Brenda, if I send you this Christmas card, you can't repurpose it, because it's handmade. But actually, that'd be kind of fun.
just the Woodstock.
Wouldn't it be fun to send a repurposed card to someone and then have them repurpose it back? And we could really start something here. You could repurpose it and send me stamps. I'm relentless. So there, I got 3 vertical, 1 horizontal. So anyway, thank you guys for playing. with
One
me today.
vertical. Woohoo!
That was good. Next week, snowflakes, and then it's pretty close to Christmas. So I think you know what? I think the week after, I'm thinking of just talking to you about sketchbooks. So if you haven't got a sketchbook yet, I'm going to be talking about sketchbooks and sort of showing you how I put my sketchbook together, and see if you guys want to do some sketchbook exercises, like putting the snowflake in the sketchbook. And I'll show you sort of what I did with the sketchbook ones that I did with the snowflakes. They're kind of fun. But anyway, you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks so much, Karen.
All right.
Thank you.
This is so much fun. I love you guys.
Thanks, Karen.
Okay.
Oh.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Good night.